My name is uses many eagle tail feathers. I'm a Wadopuna Assiniboine from Northeast Montana. We're located in extreme Northeast Montana, as like all tribes, we're quite isolated. We travel 100 miles into North Dakota to go to Walmart. Takes us all day. But that isolation has some problems, but it also has extreme benefits, and that is it has helped protect our people from a lot of outside influence, but a lot of our young people through the social media, the internet has really changed the culture of our people. First of all, I also want to thank the organizers for this, for recognizing traditional cultural people as being part of the formula to provide better mental health for our people. I think it's important that you recognize that a lot of our tribes here, and I can only speak for the Nakota, the Assiniboine people here at Fort Peck, that we do have influence over a lot of our families. I've up until about 10 years ago, I was just fat, dumb, and happy to not know anything about suicide, even though it was happening and the tribe was trying to do different things. 10 years ago, I was introduced to a lady, I think, for Dr. Teresa Baraki, came here to do a suicide study. And I was at the community college, and I've talked to her, and I was interested in what she was here for. She was doing her thesis on suicide. After she completed her study, we went over the data that she had collected, and she gave me she gave all of us a picture of what our young people were going through as far as the trauma in their lives, and the number of suicide ideations that our young people had. And it really impacted me. I've been a traditional cultural man for 25 years. I was the 383rd keeper of the Assiniboine Medicine Lodge, which is the traditional ceremonies that our people do. And our people that walked that life, we weren't affected so much by it. We had relatives that we knew that had committed suicide, but our immediate families and our people and our awareness affected as much. And after Dr. Braki's sharing of her data, I realized that, and exactly what she had found, and that was culture has a big impact on how we look at ourselves and what we think about life. And I always wanted to do some things to help our communities, and it was I always tell her that the Creator sent her to us to help us. And because, as traditional spiritual people, we continue to have a very strong belief that the Creator does influence tremendously how Native people walk on the earth. And so we did a project that we're doing now, which is called the Little Holy One Project. And I'm just a very small part of that because I'm just a cultural advisor working part-time for Johns Hopkins University. But we have found some things, in trying to do this community-based participatory research project. it's been hard for us because our communities don't really buy into the project, and it takes a while for, in our case, for people to really get to know what the purpose of the project is, and we're very, I guess, somewhat hesitant to participate in things that we're not aware of, and that from people on the outside telling us what is good for us, because we've heard it a lot. Another problem is that, our project is only a 5-year project, and because of a lot of the challenges that we have in getting people to participate, a lot of the poverty in our community, a lot of the family crisis that our people have, the problems with transportation, childcare, et cetera. What we're trying to, or it affects the participants in getting to and be involved in our project. What we're trying to do is teach culture to Head Start children and their mothers, because we believe that it's very important for mothers in raising their children. That's where the beginning of our culture begins. When a mother speaks to her child and tells that baby what is good for them, that child will, believes that and will continue through their life. And that knowing their culture and being involved in their culture, children will have a very positive outlook about themselves, their position in their community, and more so their responsibilities to our community. I believe a lot of the problems that we have is that a lot of our communities aren't aware of the effects that trauma have on our families. And I think for us to be successful in things, we need to try to teach in the schools, in Head Start, et cetera, the effects that trauma has on a child's life. Because starting young, those people are going to be the leaders in 25 and 30 years from now. And this whole thing we're working on is something that didn't start overnight. It's been a long process of us getting where we're at. It's important for us to stay engaged with our families over the long term. If you're going to do research, it's critical that you involve the local people. It's critical that that the traditional cultural people are involved. I believe that a project will be successful if it is something that is developed at the community level with cultural, spiritual people involved. I guess because as a traditional spiritual man, I get to see a lot of the people in the community, and I don't get to see them maybe when they're having crisis. For sure, I'll see them as they pass away, because our people always come, if nothing else, to cultural people when it's time to bury their relatives. As a cultural man and a spiritual man, I want to see those families before they get to the point of following through on their suicide. A lot of the suicides we have are young people. They're people that come out of trauma, people that come out of alcohol and drug families. And it's hard to reach those people. It's really hard to reach those families. You really need a core group of people that come together, that can stay together to lead these research projects. And they really need to be people on the ground in the community. And like I said, to involve some traditional spiritual people in your projects. Because as Native people, we're all aware, no matter whether we're Christian or not, we know that we're taught that that the cultural people have knowledge and are the knowledge keeper of our communities, and those knowledge keepers need to be involved in your project. I thank you for inviting me to say a few things to people. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a everyday person that trying to make some changes here for my people. Thank you.